All right, hi there. So I wanted to talk about several things, and I want this recording and this episode to contain some valuable information, even if these bits and pieces of information may not be completely connected with each other. So let's start. The first thing that I want to talk about is mental health and how physical activity and sport helps you with it. There have been many times and many days where I've felt really low. I've felt, for lack of a better term, I've felt depressed, and it's been dark days. I didn't feel like I want to do anything, and just getting out of bed exhausted me. It took everything and every part of energy that I had during that day just getting out of bed. And being the person that I am, someone who's resilient and someone who always tries to do more than he could, I'd managed to do a few other things, like make my bed and clean my room and maybe try to do one or two things, and that's it. I'm done for. Now, in many days where I felt like that and I managed to push myself and go to the gym, I found myself feeling this energy and this motivation that reignited whatever drive that I had within me. Obviously, the scientific term for it is I had dopamine, and I was able to generate more dopamine and be able to have more motivation, more energy, and more desire. Because I don't think it was physical energy that I was lacking. Physically, I was healthy, I was fine. But it felt really a lack of desire that made me unable and unwilling to do anything during those dark days. So I'll tell you this. I've been working out for more than 10 years, and I can attest to the way physical activity, exercise, training has helped me be more energetic, have a healthier mindset, and it helped me pull out of this dark place that I sometimes found myself in. So if you're someone who's dealing with such a thing, if you're someone who's dealing with lack of motivation, a dark mental place, you feel like you're lost, you feel like you don't want to do anything, and you feel as if there's no purpose to life, and you feel like everything is pointless and you don't want to do anything, give physical activity a chance. Do some form of exercise. Even going out for a walk, a 10-minute walk or 20 minutes walk, it really has such a tremendous healthy effect on your mind, on your mental health. And, do that and let me know if you're someone who's dealing with this and you've tried physical activity. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've gone through such a thing. Write down in the comments of this video on YouTube, letting me know how you have dealt with such a thing and if physical activity helped. Let's communicate. Let's talk. If you're listening through the podcast, go to my YouTube channel. You don't have to rewatch the whole thing. Just comment down because it's the same content. Let me know if you've dealt with such a thing and how physical activity helped you, how exercise made those dark days brighter. Another thing that I want to talk about is self-love and loving yourself, which obviously are the same thing. Now, it isn't always easy to be able to love yourself. Sometimes you find yourself feeling bad about who you are. You're disappointed. You're prone to negative talk, meaning you say negative things about yourself. You say, and this is an example, you're an idiot, you're stupid, you're someone who doesn't know what they're doing, and you keep negative talk about yourself. Now, such a thing may come to you naturally because you're used to it, or because you've been raised in a negative environment, or an environment that didn't teach you to love yourself. It taught you that loving yourself is narcissistic, it's selfish, it's arrogant. And the truth of the matter is, it isn't. There's a tremendous difference between self-love and arrogance or narcissism. Those things are not the same. Now, to love yourself means to treat yourself kindly and justly, and to be able to take care of yourself. Imagine yourself, this person that you are is not you, but you are in control of this person. Now, if you care for this person, you would control them, let's say, and make them take care of themselves. Let's assume who you are is your friend. You're not you. You're the friend of this person that you are. You would make this friend eat healthier, exercise, be in a healthy environment, in a clean house, in a clean room. You would not associate them, or rather put them away from harmful people. You would put them away from harm's way, and you would put them in a place that's good for them. You would dress them up properly in clean and good clothes. You would make sure they're clean hygienically, and you would make sure that this person is loved. You would tell them, assuming like this person is your friend, you would tell them, I love you, I care about you, I want the best for you. But when you are yourself, it becomes harder to do that. It feels self-conscious in a way. You become too aware, too shy, too embarrassed. Yet you wouldn't be embarrassed, you wouldn't be shy, and you would find it easier to give that love for a friend or a family member, or a child of yours. Let's say you have a child or a nephew or a niece. You would find it easier to nourish them than you would nourishing yourself. So practice self-love. Learn to love yourself. Learn to speak positively to yourself. Say, and you can literally repeat after me. I love myself. I'm worthy of love. I'm a good person. I'm a great person. I have so many positive and good qualities about myself. I deserve the things that I desire. I deserve the life that I wish to have. I deserve to be associated with and surrounded by healthy, good environment and people who love me. I deserve that love, and I give that love. You're like a node, all right? And you either brighten up the world around you, or you dim it. And you don't just, when I say dim it, I'm not saying you just not create light. No, you bring darkness. You make it darker. So tell yourself that you deserve the light that you let out into the world, and you will do that. You will make the world a better place. You will And you can see it in the people who love you, the people who are around you. They brighten up when you're there. You make them better. You make the world better. So tell yourself that. I'm a beacon of light. I'm someone who makes the world a better place. And the reason I'm saying, and I'm telling you to say these things, it's because it's not easy to see that, because you're in first person view of yourself. You don't see yourself from outside, you see yourself from within. And it becomes harder for you to see just how amazing you are, how great you are, how those around you see you, and how beautiful you are. So learn to love yourself, because you are deserving of that love. The third thing I'm going to talk about is how to leave toxic people. Now, it isn't always visible or clear that someone is bad for you. Most of the time, a person can be good for you and then they go bad. Sometimes relationships fall apart. Sometimes things that are good go bad. The analogy that I can think of is a fruit or a healthy meal that outlived its healthy cycle and then it went rotten. These things don't always happen. If you take good care of a healthy relationship, it will and can last a lifetime. So I'm not saying relationships go through a cycle and then they go rotten. No, that's not it. But sometimes toxic people, for lack of a better word, can become so even though they were good for you. Another example is people who were toxic from the get-go. They were bad for you, they were unhealthy, maybe they were narcissistic, maybe you and them never clicked to begin with. Now, sometimes you feel stuck with those people and it isn't easy to get out of such a relationship. I think the best thing you can do is mitigate the damage and try to distance yourself. But you need to be clear with yourself. And I also think the best way to deal with such a relationship is to focus on your own actions and your own reactions as well with that person, instead of just putting the blame on them, fighting with them, and, keeping this poisonous cycle going. No, try to sever it, try to end the communication, try to be clear and honest and not pointing fingers, because sometimes to that person you are toxic as well. You never know. So if you can end it on a good and healthy term, try to do that. If you can walk away, try to do that. But focus on minimizing the damage, minimizing the existence of this poisonous environment. So I think that's how you can deal with toxic people, by aiming to pull yourself out of them and trying to get out of such an environment and a relationship. The fourth thing I'm going to talk about is how to let go of grudges. There are many relationships and many stories that you end up being a part of that have no closure. You are left stranded and they just end abruptly, and you are owed so much more than what you were given, which kinda builds this grudge within you. It builds this resentment within you, and it festers. You were given such a harsh and bad treatment that you do not deserve. You deserve so much better. I think if you cannot have a proper conversation, if you cannot have your closure, it's best to learn to let go, to move on, and to learn from that harsh and unfair relationship and treatment that you were in. Because people are not fair. I'd like to think sometimes, most of the time they are, but sometimes they are not fair. And the best thing you can do is to move on, to accept the lack of closure, to let go of this building and festering grudge within you, to realize that, hey, I deserve better. I'm someone who doesn't deserve that treatment. I will learn from it. I will be a better judge of character. And I will take this healthy and good person that I am into a healthier and better relationship or relationships. And sometimes and many times, people who treat you like that, they get what's coming to them. Their bad behaviors and their mistreatments, they catch up to them. Nothing in life goes unrewarded or unpunished. The way you act out in life yields results that make sense in the physical world, and it abides to the laws of nature. So those people who are corrupt, who hurt others, who leave things abruptly, and they are not trustworthy, they will get what's coming to them. So have faith and focus on yourself. You don't have to seek it out of them, because usually they will not give it to you. They will be manipulative, and you would spiral down into a bad place. So let go of grudges. Forgive, not for them, forgive for yourself, which means you forgive them so that you can move on. But if they come to you and they desire something equivalent to forgiveness, and you deem them unworthy of it, you don't have to grant them that forgiveness. You can tell them, hey, I moved on. You mean nothing to me. I do not feel anything towards you. No grudge, no hate, but also no love. And you just move on. So I think I'll finish with that on this episode. I don't want to dish out everything and talk about all of it in one recording, in one setting, in one video. But I will be doing these more often. I want it to be easier for me to do so that I can do it more frequently. I'd like to ask something out of you. If you like this video, if you find it helpful, interact with it. Subscribe, give it a like, share it with your friends, communicate with me, put something in the comments, talk to me. I'd love to hear from you. So I hope you're happy, and I wish you happiness, and I wish you well. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.